Ship it on home to daddy.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to another week in the life of yours truly. Beginning of this vlog, I'm going to start off with a little golfing action, and then I'm going to transition into doing a little hunting. Part of the reason I started this channel was to not only show what I as a professional poker player do in my day-to-day life and a little bit of strategy here and there, but also to showcase another huge passion of mine, and that's waterfowl hunting. Last season I didn't get to do it much, but this season I'd like to start branching off and making a few waterfowl hunting specific videos. So we're gonna see a little tidbit of that here. If you guys are fans of hunting, or you guys do a little waterfowl hunting yourself, hit me up in the comments and let me know what you'd like to see. Probably start with like a duck hunting 101. So look forward to that in the future. After the hunting segment, we're gonna go right into the Kansas State Fair, which was this week, and that is one of my favorite times of the year. I did go a little heavy on the eating this year, but that was because we were with a great group of friends and we were all splitting and sharing and trying a bunch of different things. We had Bo there, one of my buddy Bo, who is a fair food expert. This guy has the place mapped out. So he let us know what's good. And then after the fair food, I'm gonna hit you guys with a little poker. Remember, once again, guys, as I said in my last vlog, if you're interested in some poker training, check out Red Chip. Check out specifically their core program, guys. This is a great place to start learning. This is a great spot to build on the foundation that you already have. I'll put a link for my affiliate code in the comments down below. I'll pin it to the top. So if you could, check it out, hit up my link, and it's $5 a week, guys. That program is freaking awesome. Also in the comments down below, if you're not a fan of watching any of my lifestyle stuff and you'd rather just sit down and watch poker content, I'll put in the same comment as my Red Chip affiliate code. I'll put where to click to start the poker hands. Let's get in it.
Tap, tap, taparoo.
Yeah, that's not tapping in.
Little hot, Ian, little hot.
Coming in hot.
That would have been good though if I hadn't like hit it so hard, right?
I mean,
If it wouldn't have hit the hole, it'd have been off the back of the green. Practice swing.
Yeah, shout out to Joe and MJ for flat out killing the game today. Joe, man, he was on point, played super good. MJ came through with quite a few clutch shots as well. So shout out to those guys. Happy to buy some pizza and wings for them. Instead of getting that bread, I'd be giving that bread. But it's Thursday night. You already know what that means. We're always at the Ball Diamonds. No men's game, just co-ed. Let's ship it. Of course we won. 15-5. Ship it on home to daddy. Friday, September 7th. You know what that means? Opening day of teal season is tomorrow. A little bit of what I'm working with. Number one, the main attraction. A Stoger M3500, the Jeff Foyles Straight Meat Mallard, the R&T MVP, the Duck Commander Teal Call, the Duck Commander Gadwall Call, the Primos Power Drake, and then the Buck Gardner Honker Hammer, which is half poly, half acrylic. Yeah, we're all set. I might have too many calls, but yeah, we get the job done. Now it's time to clean the gun and get into it. All right, fam. Got her all lubed up. Got her put back together. Let's shoot some birds today. Whoa.
The oily void gets the one. In this instance, the duck.
Well, we got them, boys. 28. 28 in the tailgate on this whack and stack Saturday. Ship it to daddy. Monday afternoon, and it's time to prepare some of this bird that we shot. So I think I'm gonna do it my favorite way, which is a duck stir fry. Worst case scenario, I can use something from this book called Duck, Duck, Goose by Hank Shaw. This is an excellent book, fellas. It gives a ton of recipes for wild game, specifically wild ducks and geese. But I think I'm gonna go with my own personal, original duck stir fry. That you will need to make the perfect duck stir fry. Voila, finished product. We might have made too much, but it'll eat. Well, most of my Kansas followers know that the Kansas State Fair is right here in our hometown of Hutch. Since we live in Pratt, we didn't get to go as much this year as we'd like, but it's Saturday night, and what better to do than come grub at the fair, see some old friends. First try, banged it out.
Jack it up.
So what would you say is the most essential food item of the fair?
Well, it's obviously the funnel cake. Connie's funnel cakes.
Okay.
They're $1 cheaper than everywhere else, and they taste so much better.
You heard it from the expert, folks. If you come to the Kansas State Fair, Connie's funnel cakes.
Jack it up.
You guys act like you're wine tasting. At least Bo does.
It might help.
Decide I need one more bite. I'm holding too much stuff, so I'm gonna have Brother Phil here feed me. What? Got just enough. Just enough.
But everything.
The fair's about to come to a conclusion for us. It stops tomorrow. Wish we could have made it a few more days. Maybe get a wild hair tomorrow afternoon or something, but probably not. Alright guys, so in this first poker hand, most of these hands were going to be over 200 big blinds effective. I'm not quite sure when I wrote down some of these hands what the effective stacks were, but just know that I always topped up to 800 and most of the other guys had 800 as well. So in this first hand, middle position opens to $12. The button calls and I'm in the big blind with ace-9 of spades. So it's a pretty easy call. The flop comes 7-8 jack with 1 spade. I check, the middle position player bets $20 and the button folds. I think this is a great board that hits our big blind calling range. So I think it's a good board to check raise. We got the gutter, we have an over, and we have the backdoor spade draw. So I put in a check raise to $75, and unfortunately he calls. The turn is an offsuit 3, so the board is now total rainbow. I think this is a really good spot for us to size up on our bet. We're representing a lot of strength. I don't think we're doing this with just a jack. So I decided to bet 170 this time. And once again, unfortunately, he calls. So we really need to hit that 4-outer. The river is an offsuit deuce. I just gave up on this one. Felt like we weren't getting him off the hand. It's not a good card to continue on because nothing got there, and we already see that if he does have a huge hand, he's not ready to fold. So I end up checking, and he actually bets 400. I'm not quite sure what he does this with other than like a flop to nut straight, but I felt like we would have heard from that by then. So obviously I end up folding and we don't get that bluff through. So this next hand I pick up a beautiful 5-6 of spades in the small blind. There's an under the gun $8 straddle and it folds all the way around to me in the small blind. This hand is a little weak to be playing out of position, but considering the lack of interest, I went ahead and decided to raise it up. I make it $24 to go. The big blind folds and the straddler calls. The flop comes 4, 5, 10 with 1 heart and 2 diamonds. I think it's a good board to bet, not necessarily as a bluff or for value, but rather just equity protection. I don't see any real reason in betting large so about half pot is fine. I bet $26. The under the gun player calls. The turn is an offsuit queen, which I don't think is that good for us unless we want to turn our hand into a bluff. I don't see a real reason in betting again here, so I decide to check and he checks. The river is another queen, which brings in no draws. I check this time, and unfortunately the under the gun player bets $95, which really polarizes himself. I guess I have to decide if he's a good enough player to take this type of line with ace-10. I just don't give him enough credit for being able to do that. So I end up making the call, and unfortunately we're showed queen-7 of hearts. So I flopped the back door. He did have 2 overs on us and hit running trips. Okay, in this next hand we pick up pocket 9s in the cutoff. We open to $12 and the big blind 3-bets us to 48. Folds back around to us. Pretty easy call with 9s. We're both super deep, so I make the call. The flop comes 8, 8 deuce rainbow and he checks to me. I feel like sometimes we can check back and allow bluffs to continue. He could obviously be checking aces and kings. I don't think he checks queens, jacks, and 10s that often on this board, as he doesn't really want to give any free cards with those type of holdings. Plus he can get a lot of value from other overpairs or something like pocket 7s. So I feel like it's a good opportunity for us to bet and protect our hand. I actually down bet here. I don't see a reason to go much larger. I bet $40 and he calls the 40. The turn is a queen, which actually brings in a backdoor flush draw and it goes check, check. Don't see a reason to bet again. I don't think we're getting called by worse. The river is an offsuit 10 and this time he leads for $110. So if we go back to my analysis on the flop, I don't think he has any pairs queens and below. So he either has aces and kings that he decided to just get really tricky with, or he has a bluff, or he flopped quad 8s. Given that I feel like there's a lot more bluff combinations here, specifically ace king that he decided to float the flop with. Obviously if you can have ace king, you can have ace queen. There's really only 2 combinations of ace queen I feel like he's floating the flop with, and that's the 2 with the backdoor flush draws. Given that information, I think this is a call, and we do make the call, and he shows us ace king off. So ship that one right on home to daddy. And yeah, that's it for the vlog. Guys, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe and check out some of my other videos. As long as you guys are happy with the content coming out, I'm gonna keep putting it out. So